you got into psychology, which makes perfect sense given that the environment you came from, right? And then how did astrology come on board? Because I know it was early on for you.
At 10 years old in the Detroit News in the comics section, there was a part where it said, right away for your astrology chart. And I want to say I was like in second grade, where you learn how to put the name and then the address and then the city and then the zip code and how you do all that. And so I couldn't wait. So I sent away for it, but I gave them the wrong birthday. And when the chart came back, it was the wrong chart. But I distinctly remember being so excited about this thing called astrology. Fast forward high school, I found a book about the sun and the moon, and you could look in the back of the book. And literally, I did every single kid who I'm still friends with now, many of the kids I grew up with. And I, to this day, knew where everybody's moon was. And I was talking about it all the time. Such a funny game.
Love that.
Yeah. And then by the time I got to graduate school, I had already been introduced to astrology through a very unique circle. I was in Toronto, went to school in Toronto, met a first astrologer. She was a triple Gemini. She was going to school for dance as I was. She was Jewish as I was. And she was in Toronto, even though she was American. And she was an astrologer. And I was like, she came to my family's house. This is a true story, and did the charts it was a holiday, a Jewish holiday. It was in September, and she did every single person with the ephemeris around the circle. And I was like, I couldn't believe that she could describe Woody Allen's characters better than I could. And we got in the car, and I said to her, I want to learn what you just did. And then she was leaving university, and her dad said, if someone drives with you from Toronto to Alberta, I'll let them drive, and I'll give them a one-way ticket back. And I was like, I'll go with you under one condition. Teach me what you did that night at dinner. And so for 3 days in the car, all she did was triple Gemini. All she did was talk. And by the second day, she was like, Debra, there are books in the back seat, and I can't keep talking about astrology. And I was like, no. And by the time I finished, this is a crazy story, I had a dream, and I was told it was very clear that I had been an astrologer in past lives and to stop acting so dumb. I literally woke up in the middle of the night, and I started charging and doing readings the next day. So I learned through her. I never had a teacher. I shouldn't tell people this, but I came with a recapitulated. It was just a memory.
You know what? I think that this is key. It's not about you shouldn't tell people this, because I also had memories of doing what I do. It just came so naturally. It's like I stepped back into myself. So, and you are one of the best astrologers on the planet, that I've worked with. So, it is what it is.
Yes, thank you. And this is the woo-woo universe, the woo universe, I can be honest. It would have been like if a child was sat in front of a piano and they started to play music and they started to compose, which I've had clients that have this ability, and they never took a piano lesson. That's what it was like for me with astrology. It was just a recapitulation. I remembered everything. And ever since then, I've continued to be in passionate love with that system.
Okay, if you like this podcast and you want to see more, just click over here and you'll get to see more clips from this interview. If you just want to listen, well, if you click there, you'll listen to the entire interview, available to you on any one of your favorite podcast channels.